Ladies, here we are with only 2 lessons left in the Untangled Blueprint. Can we just take a minute and let that sink in? Because week after week, you have shown up, not just for me, although some of you say that it's just for me, but for you. You have peeled back a lot of layers on old stories and you've learned this language of awareness, and you've done this brave, beautiful work that we've all been talking about for so many weeks now. Hopefully, by now, you have gained clarity. You have stepped more firmly into your power, and you have taken action to create a life that actually feels good. That was the whole point of you joining the Untangled Blueprint. Do you know how rare it is to have come as far as you did? At the beginning of this program, I told you that less than 30% of people finish personal growth programs like the Untangled Blueprint. And yet, here you are. You did it. You're almost there, right? You didn't actually do it yet, but you're only 2 lessons away from doing it. You're not ordinary. You are extraordinary, extraordinary. And that's what it takes to have a feel good life. You are committed. You are courageous. And I hope at this point, after walking through all of this, that you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are not only capable of creating anything you want, you are ready to create anything you want. So I just wanted to take a second to share what so many of you have shared with me along the way about your experience so far in this program. Some of you were really surprised by how deep this work was, but also how doable this work was. And some of you found yourselves looking forward to Monday nights, even though you thought you didn't even like groups. And some of you realized how good it felt to set the boundary that you had to work on for you, for that hour every week to commit to this work. And then how it felt even better when you actually kept that boundary and made it work even in the toughest weeks that you had. So this is phase 4, and I wanted to welcome you to the final phase of the Untangled Blueprint. Okay, so this is where everything that you've learned so far is going to come together. This is where you become rooted in resilience and get the tools that you're going to need to help you weather any storms that come your way. You started in phase 1, where we dug deep into your roots and we uncovered and untangled what was holding you back or keeping you stuck. In phase 2, you learn to grow where you were planted. That means that you stretch towards these new possibilities. In phase 3, it was all about bravery and empowerment and being vulnerable enough to learn more about yourself and your relationships and look at them with a true discerned lens, and then find your voice, set new boundaries, and build your confidence. And now this is phase 4. And this is where we take root in this new foundation that you've created for yourself. I want you to picture a tree, just grounded and strong and unshakable, even in a storm. That's you now. You're no longer going to easily be blown off course. We're going to solidify those roots so deep that they can sway even when life's winds are coming at you at 75 miles per hour, because they will, and you are not going to break in those winds. Being rooted means that you can return to your wise mind, calm, clear, confident, and curious, and full of courage, even when chaos comes. You can return to yourself now only because you finally know who your true self is. So you've learned to pause before reacting, to name what you're feeling, to ask better questions, and to return to your center even when life feels messy. You also know that when your emotions run high, you have 2 choices. You can find a new path or you can find a new perspective. And then you're going to be back to feeling good. And sometimes neither is going to feel right. And that's okay too, because you've learned how to sit in that space with compassion for yourself instead of criticism until you are able to climb the ladder and look for a new perspective or be ready to embrace a new path. You know how to shift perspective when your heart needs understanding now, or to take a new path when that action is needed. It's really called emotional mastery, what you've learned. You've really learned how to communicate. You really have gained wisdom in this forward motion of all of these tools that you've picked up along the way. And hopefully, you've learned that all I did was show you that you have always had the power to do this. You just had to learn it for yourself. Just like Dorothy, it was in you all the time. Okay, so I wanted to send this message today to fill you in on what's left of the Untangled Blueprint and then what's next beyond the blueprint. So, first up, we still have lessons 23 and 24 ahead of you. These are your final two lessons, and they're going to drop this week and next week. Lesson 23 is the beginning of your resiliency roadmap. It's how to create a road back to yourself if you ever get pulled off course. And then lesson 24 is the one where you're going to learn to choose faith over and over and over again. These lessons are where we tie everything that we've learned and prepare for all of this together. Your tools, your insights, your growth is all going to get anchored with one thing that is going to run like this single thread throughout the whole program. And hopefully you've noticed it. And that is the word faith. We discussed really early on how life happens for you, not to you. That is what it means to have faith. Faith in yourself, faith in what you've learned, faith in the process of your existence. And even when you can't see the full picture yet, we can have faith that everything will eventually work out for the benefit of us, right? That everything is designed to either connect us, correct us, protect us, or direct us to our soul path. So I can't wait to share these last two lessons with you. And even if you have not done any of the work on your worthy dreams or mastering your time yet, or phase 3 was just one big blur for you, I want you to pick up right here in the resiliency roadmap. And you can always go back to learning and dreaming and doing later. But I want you to have a close to this program. The work is never going to be over. So if you need a little more time to process all of the stuff that makes up these worthy dreams and how you're going to fit it all in, take that time, but don't stall yourself and not finish the program. Once you've completed those two lessons, you will have officially graduated. After my first group of Untangled graduated, so many of them told me how sad they were that this experience was going to end. And while I expected that, they really went into how much they were going to miss the check-ins and the community and the conversations because all of that helped them stay grounded and motivated. So they begged me to keep it going in some capacity, and they challenged me to think quick on my feet and come up with something that they could seamlessly move into in just a few weeks. And as a true DI that I am, I of course accepted the challenge and I had to learn and grow into what has since become Untangled Ever After. The truth is, this work was never meant to end. It hasn't ended for me since I started it over 15 years ago. And I don't expect that it's going to end for you. It's really meant to evolve because we are meant to evolve. That's how Untangled Ever After was born. It's the continuation of the journey that you've already started. It's me being able to continuously connect you to the things that you're going to want next, right? So before we talk about that next chapter and what I hope will be a natural evolution for you into Untangled Ever After with us, I want to share some quick stats about why ongoing support really can benefit you. Okay, here's my studies show, right? So studies show that 80% of people who make big life changes are going to slip back into old habits within a year if they don't have ongoing support. So, I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. He calls it immersion. It's staying connected to the people and the energy and the conversations that are going to match your new level. It's going to increase your success rate by up to 85%. And if you combine that immersion with personalized support, like our one-on-ones, and some guidance in there, those odds are going to rise to 95%. That means you have a 95% chance of staying in this mindset, in this place that you've created and growing beyond it. And that's because the tools that you learned in the blueprint aren't just the tools you learned. They're going to be tools that you are going to continue to practice. I can almost guarantee that not one of those things that you took on in the past few months came easy to you. They were all new ways to think about things that you already had in your life. They were new ways to approach people. They were new ways to execute things and to follow up on things. They're not habit yet. And while we're going to talk about habits in lesson 23, when life gets busy or stressful, the part of your brain that holds your tools is called the prefrontal cortex. It will go offline and your brain will revert back to old habits to keep you alive. I'm going to say that if you don't understand how much fight, flight, freeze, and fawn affects your brain, you need to listen to this. You literally can't access your growth and these new tools without support that can help you remind you of who you are and what you know and help you get regulated in your nervous system so that you can access them again. It is the key to success. And that's really why I created Untangled Ever After. Yes, I love all of you. And yes, I love that you all love each other and want to see each other. And yes, I love seeing your smiling faces every single week online in our Zoom. But Untangle Ever After is way more than just us meeting weekly. It's a way for you to continue becoming the you that you have just unleashed. And studies show, ladies, that you need it. Okay, so let's talk briefly about what Untangled Ever After is, and then I'll give you the three options I created for how you participate in it. I have hopefully created something for everyone to keep. Okay, so if you've been to our weekly Zooms, you've already probably gotten the feel for how Untangled Ever After works. But here are the highlights. You're going to be immersed with our grouply weekly lessons and activities that are designed to expand your understanding of the wheel of life and all the tools that we've begun to work on in Untangled. Plus, I'm going to be adding in new and expanded tools that are also based on emerging topics that I'm learning about in science and psychology and spirituality and wellness. I'm going to be tapping you into podcasts and people and YouTube episodes and workshops that I invest in because I think that they are something you might want to invest into. So we're going to be meeting weekly with the first Monday of the month being an expanded Untangled lesson with a tool that you already know, probably being revisited or expanded on so that you can practice it. The second Monday is usually going to be a live mastermind around one of our members or a live coaching challenge or me introducing you to one of these things that I tap into on a regular basis to help me stay emotionally regulated and grow in the human that I want to be. The third Monday is going to be Wellness Week. This is where we focus on your mind and your body and your environment because all of that plays a huge part in the success of your mindset and your goals. And then the fourth Monday is going to be a growth focused book club. Whether it's a novel about someone that has some untangling to do or did some untangling, or something that we can learn from together in the self-help sector, or maybe it's a book based solely on one single wedge of the wheel that I think this group could focus on, that's what we're going to tackle for our monthly book club. So after the live Zooms, you're all going to have the replay library access, which we're working on putting in its own unique platform. So stay tuned for that. So if you can't or you choose not to, and hear me, you may choose not to join us live weekly because 7 p.m. on Mondays doesn't work for you, or because you're tired after a long day of work, or because you don't really get as much out of it because there's some chaos going on in your house beside you. But if you choose or not choose, you will have access to the replays. The replays will still keep you immersed and accountable because then you can drive and you can listen to them, or you can do work around the house. You could listen to them, or you can go for a walk or do some exercise and you can listen to them or watch them. It's designed for your immersion in how you want or need that immersion to be, how you function best. So we're always going to be there and we'll always support your choice in whether you can join us or not. But of course, we would love to see your face. And then we're going to have this private community space that is growing right now and is not exactly where it's meant to be yet, right? So we're going to be expanding that over the next year as we all grow together. This is where we're going to foster real connection and real support and real growth. And we're all going to post things and we're going to do some great stuff inside of that community. And all of this is really going to be designed as refreshers and repetition for continued integration for all that you've already learned in the blueprint. Okay. So, like I said, I have created three different tracks for you to choose from in how you can continue to work with us. Option one, we call this the anchor track. This track is perfect for you if you want steady accountability and community support just to help you stay anchored in the language and in your growth and with access to all those things that I'm going to expose you to once the blueprint is over. It's the group membership only, and it only costs $111 a month if you want the option to cancel at any time. But as an incentive for you to invest in you and gain more accountability, I'm going to bring it down to $99 a month if you commit to an entire year of you being part of that group community. Okay. So there's a discount for all of these options if you commit for a year. It makes sense to take advantage of that. Not only is there cost savings, but you are showing yourself that you are keeping your promises to yourself to stay on the right track. Okay. So that's option one. Option two is called the clarity track. This track is for you if you are clear on the idea that you need at least one personalized session each month. For me, I know I need one-on-one support to help me stay on my dock, to help me practice skills, to run things past somebody, to celebrate my success, to keep my goals aligned. I need someone in my court on a personal level that helps me keep my mindset really strong so that I don't fall back into my old ways. Or if I do find myself falling back, I have this personalized support from someone that knows me well enough that can tap into what I've told them in the past so that they can help me figure out what exactly might be going on. If you have ever gone to therapy, this is like keeping maintenance therapy going. This is so you don't have to start over. This is so that somebody stays invested in your life just as much as you're invested in your life. So the clarity track is the group plus one private untangling session per month. If you want to join and be able to cancel at any time, it's $222 a month. But if you commit to 12 months, we bring that down to $188 a month. That is really, really a big savings. It's like 40 something dollars, right? And for this option, I actually do offer a pay in full option where you can pay $21.11 for the entire year and you save an extra $156. I do this for people that don't want a monthly payment. You want to just bang this out, invest in yourself, give yourself a gift, write it off as personal development, which is, by the way, a tax write-off if you have any small business or you are a 1099. I can give you a receipt, but it is a way for you to just pay for it and be done with it. And then just know that you invested in yourself for the year. Okay, and finally, option three. This is not for everybody, but this is the transformation track, and it includes the group plus 4 private untangling sessions each and every month. And I have an option in here for you. Maybe you only need 3, or maybe you're not going to make it to the 4th one because something happens. I'm going to give you the chance with this track to gift up to 1 session per month to a friend or a loved one that is in need of some untangling. So if you find that you don't need all 4, but you don't want it to go to waste, you get to gift it to somebody. They have to use it within 2 or 3 months max, and I will make them a certificate for them to use, and I will send it to you. But this option is $444 a month. That's if you want to be able to cancel it at any time. Or again, if you commit to yourself for 12 months, you would only pay $399 a month. I give 2 options here, in addition to the monthly fee. So you could pay 2 installments of $22.99, which will give you an even deeper discount, or you can pay in full and save 10% on the entire thing. So again, this option is not for everyone. I only offer 2 of these transformation tracks per cohort because of the time it requires of me. So if you want one of these, I need you to please let me know as soon as possible so that I can make sure if more than 2 of you want them, that I figure out some sort of wait list. This option is really best if you're realizing that you are still in the baby stage of your transformation. If all of this was brand new to you, or if you're in the middle of a huge life transition where you know that this deep weekly support, accountability, or integration is going to help you not only make, but accelerate the emotional growth and wellness that you need, that you came here for to the blueprint. Okay, so that is an option, but only 2 people can claim that option. Okay, so that's how you can choose to continue work after the blueprint. Now, I want to talk to you really quick about your deep dive exit interview, because that's what's going to happen right after the blueprint, whether you decide to join us for Untangled after or not. So, before this chapter closes, we're going to meet for a final deep dive exit interview. It's a supersized one on one interview session designed to celebrate you and all of your growth and all that has changed and all that you have to look forward to next, no matter which path you choose. You're going to get a special link to schedule this, and it must be done within 2 weeks of your final lesson so that everything is fresh in your brain and mind. So please set aside a time to do that ASAP. I'm going to share my take on your journey and progress inside of the blueprint, and you're going to hopefully share your experience with me, which I'm going to take so that I can continue to improve this program for the women that are going to come after you, the ones that are going to need the untangling, and they might not even know it yet. Okay. So next I want to talk to you about your graduation celebration. So in the past, I've done a re-birthday party where we celebrate our work together and tie everything up together as a group. So whether you've met with our group weekly or you've just dropped in a few times, I want to invite you to strongly consider joining this final live group session. We're going to create what I call our feel-good statement together. And we're going to have a proper graduation ceremony that really pays attention and congratulates all of the work that you guys have done, because as much as this has helped you grow, it has been work. And I want to recognize the effort that you all put in. So that's going to be on Wednesday, November 5th at 7 p.m. And it'll be in addition to our Monday night Untangled Ever After group that week. So please mark it on your calendars and make sure that you are ready to attend. Okay, ladies, so whether Untangled is the end of our journey together or the beginning of the new adventure that we continue to walk through with Ever After, hand in hand, I want you to know that I am really, really, really proud of you for everything that you've learned and everything that you've done so far. I have witnessed all of you learn how to choose awareness instead of reacting. I've learned how you choose grace now and love for yourself over protecting yourself. I've learned how you know how to choose truth over performing or over giving to people. And now, as we move into these final lessons where we're going to embrace the resiliency roadmap, you're going to learn that all resilience really is the continuous choice of one thing: to choose faith over fear again and again and again. And you're already living proof of what happens when that courage meets the consistency that you needed to keep showing up for yourself in that faith. So, whether you continue with us on an Untangled Ever After or you take these tools and run with them, like I know you can, just know this: you really are about to be fully rooted and ready to stay untangled together. With so much love and so much pride, I thank you all for joining me on this journey. I'll see you soon.